What's up, dreamers? So recently, two of my favorite, well, I won't say favorite, but two of my most viewed YouTubers have been going back and forth, and that would be MoistCritical and Sneako. Now, I haven't gotten a chance to watch this video yet, but I did hover over the thumbnail, saw Sneako's face in a MoistCritical video, so I was like, what better way to enjoy this video than with the rest of the dreamers? So let's get right into it, man.
When I say I didn't really want to talk about today's topic, it's just some medium rare internet beef that I think is just kind of worthless to go over, but so many people keep bringing it up to me that I feel I should at least talk about it to some extent. So I'll go ahead and cannonball into the septic tank and doggy paddle around for a bit. The main topic involves a banned YouTube creator that I'm sure you've all heard of before. His name is Sneako. A lot of people compared him to like a diet Andrew Tate. He recently got banned, and he still does make
Good
content
way to put
elsewhere.
it.
And recently he started targeting me because I made jokes about his friends on the Fresh and Fit podcast, whom I think
Oh
are beautiful
my
clowns that do some very silly
God.
stuff.
Sneako, if you're really out here debating back and forth with people over fresh and fit, calling people out over fresh and fit, you it's something going on, bro. You should not be riding these dudes meat like this, dog. It's just not common practice for somebody who is, developing themselves, worrying about themselves. I get it. They're your friends. You don't want people talking shit about them, but people are allowed to make jokes. And I already know the video that he's referring to. He's referring to the video where Charlie talks about what's the guy's name is I don't even remember his name. All I remember is Myron, but the other guy, the dark skinned guy, talking about the basketball thing where he had a basketball player who fucked the same girls as him, and he was like, "Oh shit, we all fucked the same girl. That's crazy," just to try to make himself sound better. And it's just so corny. But come on, Sneak, man, you gotta do better than this.
That is entirely entertaining to make fun of. But Sneako didn't see it that way because he's a very sensitive guy, and he started writing their wieners to try and defend a blatantly outrageous story that one of them told about meeting a basketball player at a
Yep.
party, then being
Yep.
invited by that basketball player to a mansion, and then fucking a ton of girls at that mansion thanks to the basketball player, which sounds like something a Tumblr account would have made up, and ending with, and everybody clapped. It was such a goofy piece of fan fiction, it felt like he was begging to be humiliated and
Jesus
made fun of,
Christ.
so I started throwing some balls at the clown and dunking them in the tank. I made a video talking and joking about it, and Sneako saw this and he wasn't too happy, so he got offended on his friend's behalf, which of course is a very alpha male thing to do. I know Sneako doesn't like that nomenclature. He never calls himself an alpha male and
Right.
thinks that it belittles him, but his fan base is and has been red pilled and thinks of him as like a no nonsense kind of guy who tells it like it is, a man's man. And yet, Sneako cries more than a 12-year-old going through puberty and has very public temper tantrums like a child who didn't get the Spider Man toy they wanted for Christmas.
Listen, the way that I see it is if you're going to be associated with Fresh and Fit, you're associated with all of the drawbacks that come with them. Now, again, like I said earlier, Myron says a lot of admirable things, does a lot of admirable things, and there are some things that are a bit questionable about him as well. But all in all, I do believe that Myron and I agree and see eye to eye on most things when it comes to masculinity, being able to grow yourself, and his ideology on what he believes about women. Now, with that being said, I do believe that Myron, your partner is a clown. Your partner in crime over there. That we've all seen the bullshit he's gotten into in terms of women, even though he says and preaches the exact opposite. And we know that he's notorious for being a clown with that girl that literally was using him for money. And you allowed your boy to do that on your show and said nothing about it. So at the end of the day, Sneak, if you're gonna be defending them, at least understand where people are coming from when they're talking shit. And you just gotta accept it, bro. It just is a reality.
He was upset because I was making fun of them. He then makes a big rant about me, calling me a bitch, saying all kinds of things. He doesn't
Yikes.
really make any points. He just insults my appearance a lot and makes very bold assumptions about me not going outside and shit like that, which of course has nothing to do with anything I was saying, nor does it debunk any of my points. Not that I was even really making points, I was just making jokes about a silly fucking story, and he's taking it as if I just gave a TED talk on monogamy, because for some reason he somehow gets lost in like this Winter Soldier episode, like this delusional fantasy, where he starts making a statement on monogamy, which of course had nothing to do with the video I made.
I'm not gonna say names. Someone texted me. He's in a monogamous relationship. This is his girl.
We're attacking women now.
So there you go. I mean, I told you, like, I could hear it in your voice. The fact that someone doesn't have to abide by those rules. Someone could go and fuck a lot of bitches. That it's so foreign to a lot of people's ideas, because when you get brainwashed, when you get told that monogamy is the answer.
What the fuck are you even talking about? What is this?
Let me just say this. Sneako, in the art of war, when a man is attacking a man, right, as an alpha, as red pill, as whatever, right, we traditionally, we leave the women and children out of the war, yeah? Now, you throwing your hand up, sitting back saying, we know what you're doing. You're saying, and let me just be clear, this is what you're saying. Let's not try to bullshit. Let's be men here. This is what you're saying. His girl is not a 10. She's not close to a 10 by your standards. Therefore, he shouldn't be able to talk about fresh and fit stories about the women that they fucked. Let's be clear about this. We know that story was bullshit, okay? We know that story was bullshit because there's not a chance Fresh, whatever his name was, went to a fucking party, recognized a basketball player who he wouldn't name, and then was like, oh, you fucked this girl? I fucked that girl. That's so crazy. We fucked the same girl. Let's go to a mansion party tomorrow and continue to fuck the same girls. We know that story is bullshit. So for you to come out right and attack his girl, you know what? Do what you gotta do. But don't try to throw your hands up and pretend like I didn't do anything. I'm not saying anything, because we know what you're doing. Don't hide behind smoke and mirrors, bro. Just be as rash and as much of an asshole as you want to be. Don't try to cover it up behind stuff, because that's exactly why people jump off of your speeches. That's exactly why people will hate on you as much, because let's not forget, not too long ago, you were in an open relationship. So, let's not do that. Let's not do that at all, Sneako.
Have to do with anything? What does bringing up a picture of me and my girlfriend have anything to do with anything that has happened? And where is monogamy even coming from? You're fighting an invisible enemy right now. You're fighting ghosts that aren't real. Like, none of this had anything to do with the video itself of me joking about a stupid fucking story that this guy told. Like, it's so weird, and he's been mad ever since, as I understand it. I, of course, don't really watch him, but I keep getting updates on Sneako not being happy, wiggling his finger, saying, I don't really like this Charlie guy anymore for this. Now, like I said, because so many people keep bringing this up to me every day, I felt obligated to at least, talk about this a little bit and engage with the drama, even though I don't really want to. What I do want to talk about, though, is the Black Friday Moist Global merch sale, baby. A lot of great merch on moistglobal.com.
Juice him. Listen, if he's going to be shit talking, if he's going to be calling you out, get your money out of it, bro. I love it. Get your money out of it.
I'm going to keep this on for the rest of the video. The only thing I'm missing now is a cigar, so really get into character here. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. I am pretty familiar with Sneako, probably more so than a lot of his more modern fan base is.
Right.
I first became aware of his content when he got mad at me a couple years ago because I was criticizing a movie called Cuties. For those that don't know, Cuties was a movie that went to Netflix, and it was basically just softcore child porn.
I remember Cuties, actually. I remember Cuties. It was like literally a freaking movie that, like he said, was just child pornography, bro. They're like the Netflix freaking thumbnail for it was just like little girls literally bending over and doing all these weird poses, and in the entire thing is sort of, it glorifies children provocatively dancing, twerking, posting like vagina pics on bro. It's crazy, and of course it tries to mask it behind a image of, well, this is the story of what children are growing up in. However, we know the television industry, and we know the movie industry, and we know the creeps that existed. I mean, come on, bro. Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. We know the creeps that exist behind this shit. So let's not pretend like we don't know what this was, bro. Come on, man. Come on. But I don't remember personally watching Sneako say anything about it. What does Sneako have to say about it?
It was a movie that focused on twerking and a coming-of-age film that used real children in real positions of like sexualization, where during like a twerking contest they'd have cameras that would go like right into their ass and zoom in. It was fucking disgusting stuff, and I made a whole video talking about how fucked up it is that not only does it exist, but Netflix has promoted it and it's on their service. Regardless of what the intention was or what the message aimed to deliver from the director, it completely missed the mark. By using real child actors and doing the things that they did in the film, it became a movie that was only enjoyed by legitimate, real, self-admitted pedophiles. And I made a video talking about how gross that whole situation was, and Sneako made a response to it saying that the outrage around this film is misplaced, and it's actually a good movie.
Americans are like, this is deplorable. I saw this commentator, Penguinz0, who I actually like. There's not a lot of good commentators, but he's like, this movie is deplorable. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing. And it's like he didn't even watch the movie. It's just like he only saw the clips that were gonna piss him off. Or he just got so triggered by the provocative imagery that he just, deplorable. Come on, man. Like, don't you see the reasons why she's doing what she's doing?
Sneako has said multiple times, even in his most recent rant.
Just hold on. Now, I will say, I haven't watched that full video. If you guys would like, I will go back and watch the full video of Sneako's reaction and commentary on Cuties. But let me just say, it's not about that should not be being posted anywhere. And especially Sneako nowadays would probably agree that that entire generation of kids that are, growing up with that the ideology, that's just going to make them latch onto it as if it's normal, and it's going to normalize that behavior. Get that shit off the fucking internet, get it off of Netflix, and get it out of the eyes of children. What are you talking about?
That he does like my content, though I'm pretty sure he just says that to cushion the blow and tiptoe around it, before insulting me, just in case there's anyone in his chat that likes my content. He wants to make sure to not make them upset, so he makes sure to preface it by saying, well, I actually do like him, but, and then goes on to get super personal about it. This was my first real exposure to Sneako, and it's also the reason I don't care what his opinion is of me, because it's coming from a man who likes cuties. So why the fuck would it matter if he thinks I'm a bitch or anything like that? It legitimately couldn't mean less coming from a guy who openly defends a softcore child porn production.
Okay, if I ever wanted to get canceled, this is the video. I saw Cuties last night, and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. I went in ready to hate like everybody else. I saw the cover, and I got clickbaited. So did you. You got clickbaited.
Sneako, just... Yo, look at this. This should not be... I can't even... I'm just gonna let the video rock because I can't even continue.
The thing about Cuties is it's not an unrealistic film. Yes, it shows children in a sexual way, but this is not unusual now. And the people who are really mad about this aren't Gen Z.
Now, the reason I'm showing this isn't just to debate a multiple-year-old Sneako video that he completely ate shit on and had the worst possible take of with this whole cutie situation. The reason I'm showing this is because I haven't liked him since I saw this side of him.
Now, let me be the first to say, I have not watched that full video about Sneako and the Cuties thing, so I don't want to make any full judgments, but just from what I just saw, it seems to what he's saying is that because it's not Gen Z complaining about it, then it's okay. But Sneako, you literally have multiple videos, tens, if not hundreds of videos, literally aimed about talking about exactly how stupid our generation is, about how dumb Gen Z is, about how we accept crazy, stupid shit like that, and how we just allow ideas like Cuties to be sanctioned, and for our kids to then watch it and take it and think it's normal, and then just do all this weird, non-traditional shit that goes against morals and is haram. Cuties is haram. Andrew Tate would agree. Cuties is haram. Get that shit off the internet. It should have never been created, and it should have never been posted, and Netflix should have never adopted it, and it should never have become as big as it did. It should never have been in the news. I didn't even know this video existed, but Sneak, for you to even defend this is crazy.
I was aware that he made other content, and apparently some of it was pretty good a couple of years back. But once I saw this video, it just showed me a really weird guy who... it seemed like really just wanted to be contrarian for the sake of it, and makes terrible points in defense of this film for some reason. Even in your own video, you openly admit right there that yes, it sexualizes children. Full stop, that's not okay. That's a problem.
Right.
This girl, at one point, she takes a picture of her vagina and posts it on Instagram. Kids naturally just rebel. I like this movie because it's extremely provocative, but it's realistic. A major criticism of this film was that it's child porn, that they were just showing these kids and that it's gonna bring a bunch of pedophiles in. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not more than anything else that's on the internet now, or not more than beauty pageants in America, which still exist and are exactly what you see in the film.
Do you go
They're
to beauty
not okay
pageants to watch
either.
the kids, Sneako?
What the
I certainly hope not. Just because the beauty pageants, which are fucked up, completely agree, just because those exist in the real world doesn't mean that that's justification for this movie. I feel like that should be obvious. You can't use this whataboutism like, oh yeah, Cuties has a lot of sexualization of children, but what about, you know, child beauty pageants? I mean, those are out there in the real world, so what's wrong with Cuties being on Netflix? I won't show you any more from this video, it's dog shit all across the board. But there is one more thing I'd like to highlight. Even when Sneako started to rise to popularity, I didn't pay too much attention because, again, in my mind, he will always be that guy that for some reason fights for this film, which is just fucking weird. So he's always just been kind of a weird person to me that I don't pay too much attention to. But I couldn't help but take notice of one of his more recent viral clips where he openly defends getting cucked.
So
What?
I wanted to break this down, like, because this was imagine seeing the girl you love like
Get fucked.
get fucked.
You love her?
Yeah, I do. I love it. Yeah, I love her. I was about to say I love this bitch. I'm like, nah, let me not say that. I love my wifey, my queen.
Now, I am a huge Playback fan. I fucking love Agent and Low. They're two of my inspirations for YouTube. Yo, what the hell is like? I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a viewer of Sneako. I was a fan of Sneako. I am not, no longer a fan. I hate him, whatever. Sneako is Sneako. But as a fan of Sneako, you do have to acknowledge that he flip-flops a lot. And I know that current Sneako would never accept this Sneako's ideology on this. Getting cucked is crazy. And I haven't watched this interview in its entirety. I've seen clips from it, but I don't believe I've seen this one. And if he's saying what I think he's gonna say, I don't know if I can any longer accept any credibility out of this man's mouth. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And you allowed the love of your life to get fucked by another man.
What happened to the other three?
I'm crazy. The first time, as soon as I saw it, like 3 pumps in, I just got up and walked out. I'm just like, I can't do that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thoughts, like seeing her with another person, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I think it's something everybody should do.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck, bro, just to get the fuck. How did Andrew Tate allow you to come to Romania with him? What in the world? What in the world? What? What? What are you talking about, bro? Are you dumb? Listen, if you get cheated on, it is what it is. If your girl cheats on you, she's a whore, kick her to the side, and you don't deserve her. But for you to purposefully sit there and watch, you're fucked in the head, okay? And you don't have the right to guide anybody, to give advice to children, or to try to lead any new generation. If you, not a year or two ago, thought like this.
It is a legitimately super sad thing to sit there and listen to, because Sneako is very clearly bothered by that whole situation, but is trying to play it off like a deeper message, like, no, this is actually a good thing, and in fact, I recommend every guy out there try letting their girl get fucked by another man. Then you'll know if it's real, if this is the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. It is fucking tragic to listen to. Now, I want to be clear, I have absolutely no problem with open relationships. I think everyone should be completely within the right to handle their relationships however they see fit and whatever makes them happiest. Contrary to what Sneako thinks about me, I have legitimately no issue with open relationships at all. But what Sneako's talking about here isn't so much an open relationship, it's cuckoldry. You have watched your girl get fucked in front of you on at least 2 occasions that he talks about here. And you were right next to her, watching her get fucked, and one time you were so upset about it you had to leave the room after the 3rd pump, you said. You're clearly not really all right with this situation. You're for some reason forcing yourself to be okay with it. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and be an armchair psychologist like you try to do against me during your rants, but it really seems like you don't like it. And yet, for some reason, you're also trying to celebrate it and promote it like a good thing. It's just super sad. Like, if you're fucking other girls and she's fucking other guys, that's one thing, but you being in the same bed that she is fucking another man in and watching her, and then even talking about—
Bro, Jesus Christ, how can you be a self-proclaimed red pill, self-proclaimed alpha, say that you should, be leading the generation into the right direction, and you say all these things are haram, you say all these things are bad, and not too long ago you said that all men should experience getting cucked to see if you truly love your partner. Shut the fuck up.
About how like
And shut the fuck up. I can't even think anymore. Just shut the fuck up.
upset you were about how much she was moaning and the deep eye contact she was making with the man she was fucking in front of you. Like you're not really okay with it, it sounds like. So stop trying to pretend to be, and stop trying to make it seem like this is a good, healthy thing for everyone that everyone needs to try. It's just pretty sad. So this is always in the back of my mind when he starts critiquing my relationship, or really any relationship for that matter. Like, what really gives you the right, especially when you're clearly in a very complicated situation in your own mind with your relationship?
Holy shit.
So, like I said, I didn't really want to talk about this, but he apparently keeps shitting on me and making a big hoopla about it, and people keep bringing it up to me. So I felt like I should at least address it in some capacity. So this is me talking about it, and that's about it. See ya.
See ya. Sneako is no longer in that relationship. I know that he did end up leaving his girlfriend because of just himself. He was gaining notoriety at a very accelerated pace, and I think that he realized that the relationship he was in was not it. But the fact that he said men should experience getting cucked to test their mental fortitude, not get cheated on, getting cucked, watching the person they so-called love get pounded by another man in front of them. Sneako, honestly, you might have to hold that, bro. You might have to hold that. Dreamers, out.